We do have a great show today. We're glad you're joining us. Got two amazing gentlemen that we're going to be talking with. We'll also be talking with our show's official licensed marriage and family therapist, Kristina de Bree. We've got a busy show. Should be a fun one. I'd like to start out by wishing a very, very happy birthday to my mother. I say I'd like to because, of course, she's not listening. She only listens when her favorite son is on. So I guess I'll have to wait till tomorrow. Wish her a happy belated birthday during Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. Anyways, like I said, we've got a busy show. We've got Matt Nelson, CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Santa Clarita Valley. He'll be joining me in just a minute. Again, we've also got our show's licensed marriage and family therapist, Kristina de Bree. She'll be joining us a little bit earlier today. She's on in hour one. She's got a seminar that she's attending or speaking at. We'll check in with her about that. But she'll be on during this first hour. And then in hour two, we're actually going to lay it out. We've got Griffin Loch. He'll be back here joining us on the phone. If you remember, Griffin was in about a week and a half ago. He is the 16-year-old director and filmmaker. He's about to release his third feature-length film. Just dropped his trailer about a week and a half ago, and he's got some other special things going on. He's got a special announcement to make, and then, as he promised when he was in last time, he's going to be laying out Griffin's top 10 movies of all time, and you know how those top 10s go. You know, there's always some that that click with you. You wouldn't have put on your list because you forgot about them, but when Griffin brings them up, you're going to go, oh, yeah, that's a good one. It could be in the top 10. And then, of course, there's also some that are going to be slighted, and so you're going to maybe disagree with them. So make sure that you have your list ready and weigh in and tell us what you think. So let's go ahead and get started. If you're not tuning into the show on the daily, you could miss a surprise. We had a couple of surprises yesterday. When I walked into the studio yesterday, I was not expecting the folks from COC to be joining us, but with the announcement that the Cal State organization made just a couple of days ago, we had Paul Wickline in from COC to talk about how he and the folks at COC can meet your needs and all the different support that they're talking about. We weren't expecting him, and then hour number two, now Congressman-elect Mike Garcia just popped in on us to say hello, made his first media appearance right here on our show yesterday. So you do have to stay tuned, and it looks like someone is learning that. I just got a text message in, and Mom is listening today. Shane, how about that? Happy birthday, Mom. We love you very much.
Happy birthday, Mom.
So, yeah, you got to make sure that you're listening on the regular because you never know who's going to be in. And today, Mom is in. It's good to have you. So let's go ahead and get started. My first guest today is Matthew Nelson. He is, like I said, the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of the Santa Clarita Valley. Matt's a longtime resident of the Santa Clarita Valley, a graduate of COC himself, as well as San Francisco State University, with his bachelor's degree in liberal studies, and he also received his master's degree in public administration and nonprofit management from CSUN. Matt joined the Santa Clarita Valley Boys and Girls Club as the education director way back in 2003, and in 2006 he moved into the role of the Newhall Clubhouse branch manager, and then in 2016 he assumed the position of director of administration and chief administrative officer for both Santa Clarita Valley clubs. With such extensive knowledge of the multiple levels of club functioning, Nelson was the obvious choice for the Boys and Girls Club board here in Santa Clarita after the previous CEO had left. The kids at both of the branches know and love Matt well and have strong connections with him, and the community members here throughout the valley as well have great respect for Matt. Mr. Nelson, welcome to the show. It's good to have you.
Hey, good morning, Matt. Thanks for having me on.
It's good to have you. You want to say happy birthday to Mom?
I do. Happy birthday, Mom. Yeah.
There we go. We got to take advantage.
I'm board member.
Right. She was on your board for quite a while. So first off, for our listeners, Matt, who maybe aren't as familiar with the club and the services that you provide, can you tell us about, when times are regular, what kind of services you all provide? Because it's more than just after-school care, right?
Yeah, that's right. During the regular normal times, we're an out-of-school program. So our typical program runs Monday through Friday after school till 7 o'clock. And then when kids are out of school, like spring break, winter break, summer break, we are open all day. We provide academic support for the kids after school, doing things like homework help, science club, 3D printing, robotics, really fun, engaging programs. And then in the summer, try to stem the learning loss with fun games, activities, reading clubs, stuff like that. We also teach healthy lifestyles, cooking class, provide sports, recreation, and when we're allowed to, a lot of fun field trips too. So it's a great, very affordable program. We have two facilities, two clubhouses here in Santa Clarita. One is in Newhall Park, and the other is in Canyon Country at Sierra Vista Junior High School. And so between the two clubs, we'll get up to 400 kids a day after school, and they range in age from 7 all the way through high school. Get involved in different programs. Some kids are there every day. You know, their parents need that fun place for them to be after school. They know they're safe. They know that they're going to be looked after. They're going to get a healthy snack, and they're gonna be able to get their homework done. Every parent loves that. Yeah, and then we have a lot of teams that come for our sports programs or team leadership and specific programs like that. So it's a great program, very affordable. It's only $60 a year for membership.
Did you say $60 a year?
That's right. $60 a year.
Incredibly affordable. Wow, that is fantastic. And you guys provide those full wraparound services. You really do provide an incredible complement to what goes on at home. You guys really do partner with families. I know oftentimes your alums continually refer to the Boys and Girls Clubs as a second home for them, oftentimes spending almost as much time at the clubs as they do at home, right?
Sure, yeah. You think about, parents, a lot of parents here work, or both parents, or single parents, and if they're working late or they're working all day in the summer, the kids could be at the club, sometimes more than waking hours at home.
Yeah.
And as they get older, we have one story of one of our Youth of the Year alumni. She's working at a Boys and Girls Club in Santa Cruz. I met her when she was 7, and she went through all the programs. And even as she changed schools and grew up, the club was still her place almost every day after school that she went to.
Again, it's just a really organized, structured, and amazingly fun place for kids to be. It's not just a clubhouse where they come in and flop down and do their homework. You guys have got all kinds of exciting things. I remember a couple years back, you and I took a tour of the club. It's an exciting place for kids to be. But right now, with the stay-at-home restrictions, you're not providing those services, are you? Your clubs are closed?
Yeah, so the facilities are closed, of course. In the clubs we have to look out for the safety of our staff and our families, our members, and follow the mandates. But we have not stopped working at all. We've continued programs virtually, online. We're doing wellness checks, calling in and seeing how families are doing, seeing what resources they might need, making sure that they are aware of food services that are out here, how to apply for unemployment, anything that they might need. We're able to connect. We have great relationships with these families. They really trust our staff. They know we care about them and have their best interests at heart. So we're able to connect them with some really critical, important resources right now. So we're doing that, as well as I mentioned, the virtual clubhouse is online. So you can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. We have a YouTube channel, and if you sign up, you get daily updates on what the programs are. We're posting really cool videos. Actually, some of our teens have really gotten into making videos to share, which has been a great way for them to stay connected with each other and with staff and put something positive out there in the world.
That's terrific. So you guys are taking a really proactive stance. I talked to Kevin McDonald over at the Senior Center a couple of weeks ago, and he talked about how they were being real proactive as well, calling their seniors, checking on them, making sure that everything's okay, that they're connected to services. You guys are doing the same thing for your kids. That is so important. What are you guys hearing from your kids, from your families? Are they doing okay? Or I know so many families rely on you because, like you said, of work schedules. Some families are now staying home, but there are some folks that still have to go in. Are families doing okay with supervision for their kids?
That's a big challenge right now. A good portion are staying at home, but there are some that have to work. And for those older kids, they're home alone right now, and it's unfortunate. It worries us. We're checking in on them, trying to provide support, extra activities to keep them occupied, and hopefully, keep their mental health up and keep their spirits up, so that they can get through this. But yeah, it's a mix. It's definitely a mix when the parent sentiment is mixed about how soon they want us to reopen and how soon they want their kids to come back. Some are not going to be comfortable until the fall. Some need services now. It's a real challenge.
Yeah, we talked about that on the show yesterday. It is that such an important factor of weighing your kid's health versus the need to get back to work. It's just this delicate balance that the entire world is going through right now. And I know as we continue to move forward and businesses continue to open up, I heard Catherine Barger talking this morning. I believe it was a replay from yesterday, but talking about, okay, we've got more and more shops opening up, which means more and more parents are going to be going back into the office, going back into where they work, which means more and more kids are going to have need of services like that. But then, how do you weigh that risk of sending your kids to a club if and when you guys are able to open up? Any word when you guys are going to be able to open up for parents to choose to send their kids in? Are you guys a phase 3 type of organization, or is that going to be a little bit longer?
We look to be right now in step 2 of phase 2. So,
okay.
So a couple weeks ago, we knew we were in phase 2, and then when we started to move into phase 2, we learned we are later in phase 2. So,
okay.
It's confusing and stressful, but
sure.
And what the programs look like is going to be very different, and we're working through that. If you've ever been to the club or you think of something like a rec center, community center, is we have all kinds of kids coming in throughout the day. It's a drop-in program. They're moving around. A kid wants to go shoot hoops in the gym. They go do that. They go get a snack. They go out to the playground, or they go do a science project in the STEAM lab. They're moving around, and under the CDC guidelines, it's not gonna look like that immediately. It's going to be very structured. Social distancing guidelines are gonna have to stay in place. It looks like we may have small groups, and we're really struggling right now with the fact that we may not be able to serve nearly as many kids as we have in the past. And so we're working on our plan, and we're still waiting for more information, but we're going to have several options of how we could proceed.
And it's going to be so important. We mentioned how important it is for families as they start to go back to work for their kids to have a place to go. But then, I'm looking at it through my lens as an educator. We're looking at how we could possibly open our schools in the fall. And if you guys are a little bit ahead of the timeline, we're going to be real interested to see how it's going for you, how you guys are operating, and that's going to be an important model that you guys provide as you take that first step for schools to be looking at as kids start to get back together with you guys. We can watch and learn from you. We learned a lot from you guys before this ever happened, and we look forward to continuing to learn. Matt, we do have to take a quick commercial break. Are you able to stick around with us for the next break?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. We're talking with CEO of the Santa Clarita Valley Boys and Girls Club, Matthew Nelson. We're going to take a commercial break, and we will be right back with more with him. You're listening to SCVI Charter School's Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I'm your host, Matt Watson. Not Matt Nelson, but Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
Doesn't it seem like it's been forever since we sat down in a restaurant and enjoyed a meal with our friends and our family? As the clock counts down to the expiration date of the current stay-at-home order on May 15th, many of our local businesses are working hard getting ready to reopen. and that includes restaurants. Ultimately, it's up to our local health officials and our local restaurants to come up with safety plans moving forward, but we can help too. Plan on no more than an hour of dining out. If we don't linger, it allows more turnover for the restaurant, which in turn provides more business for them and more tips for servers who are out on the front line. It's a win-win. Together, we can create a new normal for Santa Clarita that's safe and enjoyable.
Town Cleaners on Soledad is offering free dry cleaning for all first responders and medical personnel. Free pickup and delivery is also available. Call Mo at 250-1542. 250-1542. Town Cleaners on Soledad.
Hi, this is Bob Schertz with the Way Out Recovery SCV, reminding you that during these unprecedented times, addiction and mental health do not take a break. If you or someone you love are struggling, please give us a call at 661-296-4444. We are open and here to help you during this time. Thanks.
Yes, Dunkin' is open. The continued stay-at-home orders have been rough on all of us, but Dunkin' is trying to make things just a little bit better. There are many ways to get your Dunkin' fix. You can carry out at both locations, or you can drive through at Canyon Country, or get curbside service at the Bouquet Canyon Dunkin'. Both offer Grubhub and Postmates delivery and are open till 6 p.m. Don't forget, use your Dunkin' app for on the go to order, pay, and accumulate points. Dunkin' cares about the SCV.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCBI Charter School's Eye on the Valley's Homeschooling Answers with Matt Watson. We're joined this morning by Matt Nelson, Santa Clarita Valley Boys and Girls Club CEO. And Matt, before the break, you were sharing with us all the different services that the clubs are providing, even during this time. I've got to tell you, I love how proactive and careful. I don't know that careful is the word, but care-minded our community has been during this time. That everybody's reaching out and making sure that all of our citizens have the support that they need. You guys specifically are reaching out to all the members of your club, making sure that they're taken care of, taking a really proactive stance. We appreciate that, Matt. You talked about how you guys charge $60 a year for club membership per family or per child. Matt, $60 a year can't cover it. I've seen all the amazing services, the beautiful facilities you guys have. That can't be all. Where does the rest of your funding come from?
Right. Good question. Yeah, it covers a very small percentage. The majority of our support actually comes from donations from individuals and businesses. And that's received throughout the year from straight donations. And then also we put on some really great special events. Normally we have our auction in June. We had a really great event planned this year. Galactic Gala was the theme. Last year we had a superheroes theme. But of course, under these circumstances, unfortunately, we had to cancel the event. But the fundraising continues. And we've been very fortunate. People are still reaching out, sending in support, which is great. We know so many people are impacted right now and aren't able to do that, but the ones that are really stepping up. It's been amazing.
That is terrific to hear that things are still coming in, and we'll talk to you in just a few minutes about how our listeners can give and help support the amazing things that you guys are doing. You mentioned your annual benefit auction. I was really excited about the Galactic Gala. You had to cancel that. You announced that just last month. You know, it was the Boys and Girls Club auction that was I believe it was the very first charitable event I ever attended way back when I was, I think, in junior high school. I attended and actually worked as a volunteer, helping people out at the checkout line. But with you guys having to cancel that, that's your major fundraising event of the year. In fact, I was reading that's a six-figure event for you guys every year. How's this going to impact the club's ability to operate moving forward?
Yeah, the club's been around 52 years now, opened in 1968, and the auction, this would have been our 49th year. So you can see, it's been a very key event for the organization over the years, and has grown and grown, and is a signature event in the Valley. Everybody looks forward to it every year. I think that just like the kids look forward to coming to the club and get excited, the adults really look forward to our auction.
Yeah.
Excited for the fun themes that we're going to have, and getting dressed up or not, and coming out and supporting the community. But right now, we're not able to continue that. But since we are continuing to provide services, and we are working to position ourselves to do the best we can to serve the community, to help get the economy going, and be that place that parents can turn to when they do go back to work. And so, some are gonna have to work longer hours. They're gonna have to try to make up for the loss during this time. And the club's going to be a very, very important organization for families in Santa Clarita. So we do have a campaign going. We're reaching out to past donors, and hopefully, finding new donors out there. Of course, all of that's available on our website, which the website's www.scvbgc.org.
www.scvbgc.org, and people can log on to that website and donate?
Yep. You can donate there. You can sign up for our newsletter. And it's also a place for parents to go. And if you weren't a member before, your kid could still become a member. We're not taking the fees right now, not being open. Nobody's required to pay the $60. We know it's just a need that people need. So if parents want to sign their kids up to be part of the virtual programs and engage with the staff daily, they can do that. And of course, you could always follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and get a lot of that content as well. But if you go to our website, our goal is to raise $100,000 by the end of June to offset the losses from the auction. So we're about 25% of the way there now, and but we need all the help we can get, though.
Fantastic, and I know our listeners, Matt, the community as well as, if not better than I do here, how giving people are. So hopefully we can ramp that up. You said you're about 25% to your goal of $100,000. Hopefully we can get you to that goal real soon, that goal by August. So you guys are working to reopen just as soon as you can. Again, nobody really knows when that is, but it sounds like it's coming soon. I know you and your staff are making plans. You guys are doing great things out at the club. I know you've been, like I said, a second home and a source of support to literally tens of thousands of kids since you guys opened your doors back in, what was it you said, 1968. You guys have been changing lives. I mean, Mike Bjorkman works closely with you guys, and so does his amazing wife is on your board. I knew Bjorkman back in school, and man, if you knew him when I did, y'all are working small miracles out there at the club. So we do want to encourage.
Yeah, he's a success story. That's for sure.
He definitely is. He definitely is. So we want to thank you for joining us today, and make sure that our listeners are donating. We're going to get that website up on our Facebook Live feed. So if you're interested, head on over to the Facebook Live feed. You can just click on that link. Again, it's the KHTS Radio Facebook Live feed going right now, or just head on over yourself to www.scvbgc.org, Santa Clarita Valley Boys and Girls Club.org, all the acronym there, scvbgc.org, and help Matt and his team keep those services running, because I know so many of you want to get back to work, but in order for many of us to get back to work, we've got to have a place for our kids to hang out, be safe, and continue to learn and grow. Matthew, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. It's good to hear from you. You be well.
Yeah.
Take care of your staff, and we'll talk soon. Keep us posted, all right?
I have one last message from our teams. We had a meeting the other day, and I told them I was going to be on the radio, and I said, hey, what do you guys want me to tell you? And they said to make sure to tell everyone, be safe, take care of yourselves, and we're going to get through this.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Your team is amazing. It's, folks don't even apply to work for you guys unless they've got that incredible heart to just love on the kids and take care of our community. So tell them that we said the same. Be safe, take care of themselves, and And bless you, Matt, and your entire team for everything that you guys do in and around our community.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you for having me on the station.
Of course. You take care. I do want to share a little piece of news that I just got. There's going to be a fun little event taking place over our city today. I say over our city. Oftentimes there's a lot of the events in and around our city have been canceled. Like Matt said, unfortunately the Boys and Girls Club auction scheduled for this summer had to be canceled this year, and we're really bummed out about that. But we can take advantage of any little events going on in and around our community. You've probably seen on the news there are military aircraft. I believe it's the 146th Airlift Wing is doing flyovers to honor our medical first responders, doctors, nurses, EMTs, just to honor the incredible things that they're doing. They're working long shifts and putting themselves and oftentimes their families at risk. Just a sad and tragic story, but something that illustrates what our medical personnel is doing, what they're putting at risk to help the rest of us. There was an ER nurse who was working out in the hallways the other day, and it was not at Henry Mayo, but it was at one of our Southern California hospitals. She was working at the front desk. She did not have a mask on at the time when one of her COVID-19 patients went into respiratory failure and was not able to breathe. And she does what doctors and nurses do. She did what doctors and nurses do. She ran in to get a mask on her patient and to resuscitate him and get him stable. She was in there and she was able to save this gentleman's life. Without her quick response, he certainly would have suffocated and been another one of those COVID-19 statistics. But she was able to save his life. Unfortunately, in all the working with him and without her having her protective wear on, she did contract the virus, and it was just 2 weeks later that she ended up passing away. It's just an illustration of the incredibly selfless things that our doctors and nurses are doing every day, and the 146th Airlift Wing is honoring those folks in and around the Southland, and I know different divisions are honoring folks all over the country. Well, those really big airplanes, what are they? They're the Hercules jets, the C-130 Super Hercules aircraft. They're going to be flying over Santa Clarita today. Boy, it took me a long time to get there, didn't it? They're going to be taking off there in Palmdale at about 2 p.m. this afternoon, and they're going to be flying over. They're scheduled to fly over Henry Mayo Newhall Memorial Hospital today at about 2:15. And so if you're anywhere in or around the Santa Clarita Valley, those things are big enough that you're going to be able to see them. So a little bit after 2, you may want to head outside and turn your eyes to the sky. It's an impressive sight to see them fly over, so you may want to hop out there and do that. Their route starts in Palmdale. They'll be heading to us first and then heading out to the Simi Valley, Thousand Oaks, Camarillo, Oxnard, all the way up to Ventura, Santa Barbara, back down to Ojai before they land at the Port Hueneme Air Base. So that's something that you may want to check out. Alrighty, we do need to take another quick commercial break, but when we come back, we will have our show's official licensed marriage and family therapist, Kristina de Bree, going to be joining us. She's going to be sharing with us tips. She's been working with us on anxiety this week, and she knows that a lot of us aren't all able to get to therapists and access the care that we need. She's going to be helping us take care of ourselves while we are all safer at home. For more information on how COVID-19 is affecting our valley, I want you to go to hometownstation.com and click on the red banner. There you'll find tips on the economy, health updates, special business hours, and much, much more. You're listening to SCVI Charter Schools Eye on the Valley Homeschooling Answers. I'm Matt Watson, your host on your hometown station, KHTS.
Chiquita Canyon Landfill takes the waste from our homes and local businesses and puts it to good use. With cutting-edge clean energy technology, Chiquita Canyon powers 10,000 homes each year by harnessing the methane gas from the landfill. So, the next time you wheel your trash can to the curb, feel good that your waste is on its way to making green energy at Chiquita Canyon.
Chiquita Canyon Landfill, our partner in sustainable living.
Mission Valley Bank is a commercial bank in the Santa Clarita Valley that really puts the community into community banking.
At Mission Valley Bank, we strive to be a trusted advisor to our clients, and that means being an integral part of the communities we serve. We started the Give Where You Live program to help bring awareness to our nonprofit partners. We're more than just a local business bank. In fact, we're a full-service, independent commercial bank that is locally owned, community-minded, and relationship-driven. I'm Tamara Gurney, President and CEO of Mission Valley Bank, and I invite you to experience the Mission Valley Bank difference, where your success is our mission. We want to be your most valued bank.
Mission Valley Bank has been named Most Trusted Advisor Business Banker by the San Fernando Valley Business Journal 5 years in a row and received the Business Leadership Award by the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce, Valley Industry Association, and SCV Economic Development Corporation. Visit them at their Center Point branch location or at missionvalleybank.com. Member FDIC.
You see so much when you look at your child. A creative spirit that surprises you every day. Curiosity that develops into exploring unique passions. A little leader growing every day to discover who they are, what they love, and how they can make their mark on the world. At SCVI, we see those same amazing things. Our tuition-free K-12 charter school gives your child boundless opportunities to think critically and imagine freely, with a customized learning program built around each individual student. As iLead's founding school, SCVI combines an immersive approach to traditional subject learning with extracurricular activities, including STEAM, robotics, theater, music, and sports. SCVI has the only international baccalaureate program in Santa Clarita, with a 10-year proven track record of graduates excelling at top universities. And we're in your backyard, just off the 5 freeway in West Santa Clarita Valley in Castaic. For enrollment information or to learn more about our program, including homeschool options, visit iLeadSantaClarita.org. iLead Schools, free to think, inspired to lead.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top quality musicals and plays. Located on Main Street in Old Town Newhall, CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go online to canyontheater.org.
I never thought I'd be looking for an assisted living home until Mom got sick. Suddenly there were questions that I didn't have answers to and only limited time to find the answers. What facility could take the best care of Mom? Then my mother's social worker gave me a brochure for assisted living locators and informed me that assisted living locators is recommended by more healthcare professionals than any other agency.
Call Shannon at Assisted Living Locators, 544-1004. That's 544-1004.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is Matt Watson, and you're listening to Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. We are now joined early by our show's official licensed marriage and family therapist, Kristina de Bree. You know, Kristina is a remarkable young lady. She's got her practice right here in Valencia. She is a trauma and resilience specialist, which is something that we all need, which is why we have her on just about every day. She's on our show Monday through Thursday, helping us get through. You know, we're here to provide support for you. We've got curriculum. We've got all different kinds of things to support your educational needs, but we can't even get to that without making sure that our social emotional needs are taken care of, and Kristina is here to help us do that. You know, she's a graduate of Cal State Northridge and Pepperdine University. She's studied extensively. She is an expert in trauma, phobias, attachment disorders, suicide prevention, grief, which we're all going through just tons of grief right now. So she's been so helpful over these last several weeks. She's got more than 18 years of public speaking experience, working with medical professionals, organizations, patients, schools, parents, and, you know, she's been so valuable at this time because she's been through this pretty much her entire life, growing up as a cystic fibrosis patient. She knows what it is to live in a world of social distancing and staying safer inside. Kristina, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great. We're so grateful for your experience and your expertise that you can just share with all of us these days, especially these days in May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month. We want to make sure that folks realize how important it is to take care of themselves mentally as well as physically. a lot of folks are doubling down on their exercise regimen. They're eating a lot more healthy now that they're staying at home, but we need to make sure that we're taking care of our mental health as well. Kristina, this week you've been talking to us about anxiety. We talked last week about depression, and you've been providing a lot of insight and support. Your practice is helping so many people right now get through these difficult times. But, a lot of folks, whether it's because they have been part of that job reduction, Santa Clarita's got such a high index of unemployment right now, especially in comparison with our low infection rates. Folks are out of work, or even if they are working, they're a little bit nervous. These are difficult times to navigate, and so folks might not be able to handle financially therapy. Some of our medical insurances don't always cover everything, but it's still important that they take care of themselves. So can you help us with what folks can do if they can't necessarily afford to get to a therapist during these days?
So we've talked before about things that you can do at home.
Yep.
And so there are tons of different apps. I found this great website actually that said it was 80 different mental health resources when you can't afford a therapist. So I'm going to see if I can post that on the Facebook Live. But sometimes that's just not enough. And sometimes you feel like you're doing that, but hey, it's just not working. You're having panic attacks, or you're just so stuck and you can't move and you just really need some guidance. So I just wanted to talk about a few things that you can do if you feel like you're in this situation. So first of all, if you have insurance, call your insurance. I know what I hear clients say sometimes is that they've called insurance and haven't had any luck. So if you're looking for a specialty therapist, for example, EMDR therapy, you can say, hey, I wasn't able to find any EMDR therapists and networks that are accepting new clients, and I'd like to see if you can, process claims on an in-network basis if I, found a therapist that I wanted to go to. You can also ask therapists about cash rates and sliding scale. So I know that many therapists right now are offering discounts for their services because of everything that's going on. You can use a digital therapist. So I know websites like Talkspace have ways to have a digital therapist. Same with that, there's a digital support group. Or finding group therapy instead of individual therapy. There is a great website called, it's openpathcollective.org, and it's for if you want to find a therapist who offers sessions between $30 and $60 per session, and if you want to do couple or family sessions, it's between $30 and $80. This is an excellent resource that I have referred people when they just feel like they don't have any options.
Kristina, can I ask you to repeat that website? I just tried pulling it up, and I'm not going to hit it. I thought you said Open Pass, P-A-S-S?
Path, P-A-T-H.
Open Path. Collective.org. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put that on the Facebook Live feed. Sorry to interrupt you. Please continue.
No, it's okay. Yeah, so this is just a great resource, and I know that, because sometimes therapists will offer sliding scales, and it's hard to know, who, would be the best fit to offer the sliding scale for, because, therapists can only give a certain amount of slots in their practice to sliding scale in order to keep their business afloat. So some therapists just say, hey, here are my sliding scale low-fee slots, but you have to go through a site like Open Path Collective in order to do that. I also know that there are a ton of social media groups, like there are Facebook groups that therapists are running to support. And let's see, I was looking through this list here. There is like the National Alliance on Mental Health. They have so many different resources available. You can understand from an educational standpoint what's going on. You can figure out about how insurance coverage works. If you have been victimized by a crime, you can call the victims of crime, and oftentimes they will have therapists that are in network that you can get, same as if you were to go through insurance. The National Institute of Mental Health is a great resource. Trevor Space, that's for LGBTQ issues. The disaster distress hotline. So I'm going to see if I can post this right now.
Oh, that'd be great.
So yeah, there are plenty of resources available. And even if you're not sure, even if you feel like, okay, that's overwhelming, this is a lot of information, and yes, I know that there's resources available, but I don't even know where to start with that, just try and call a therapist. I mean, if you guys feel like you need someone to talk to, give me a call. Not every person that calls me utilizes my services, but because I get the 15-minute consultation, I'm able to point people in the right direction and have a private, one-on-one conversation with you and understand your needs. Part of the issue is that not everyone's needs are the same, and there's no one-size-fits-all. So, that there's just so many options available, and this is the great thing about having technology with during this time, is that we have access to these resources.
Yeah, definitely. You said you provide a 15-minute free consultation where you'll get people directed. If they're a match for you and what you do, then they can get started on their path with you. If not, you refer them to other services, other free services, other therapists, things like that. Kristina, what's your phone number?
661-513-4857. Again, that's 661-513-4857.
What an amazing resource to provide to people. So I know, like you said, there's a lot of people that are out there that feel they can't afford, or maybe now's just like not the time. They're putting other things ahead of their mental health. We as parents oftentimes do that, right? You think about the sacrificial mother or father who takes food out of their own mouth to feed their kids. We're focusing on our kids, making sure they have what they need, focusing on our homes, making sure that we're able to make the rent, or if we're not, we're able to get that rent forgiveness that some folks are offering out there. And so we're putting those priorities ahead of our own mental health needs. But, it's about putting that mask on yourself before you can take care of others. If we're not staying healthy, if we're not making sure that we're taken care of, then we are less and less able each day to take care of our kids, to take care of our families. And so it's so important that we're well taken care of, that we are balanced. And so folks can pick up that phone and call you for that free 15-minute consultation. It's such a beautiful community service that you're providing. Again, Kristina's phone number is 661-513-4857. You can also head to her website, KristinaDeBree.com. That's Kristina with a K, and then the last name is DeBree.com. You can head on over to our Facebook live feed, and we've got the link there for you, as well as some of those other web resources that Kristina provided. So money is not an excuse. Kristina's provided us with just a ton of resources out there. Make sure that you're getting the care that you need, okay? We cannot ignore our mental health care, because we ourselves are depending on it, and those around you are depending on you to stay strong, to stay healthy. So take care of yourself and reach out to Kristina, and she will help take care of you as well. Kristina, thanks so much for all your help. We look forward to talking to you again next week. You have a wonderful weekend. We don't see you on Fridays, but we'll talk to you next Monday. It's time for us to check in with local and national news stories and the latest updates right now. Please Please stick around. When we come back, we've got teenage filmmaker Griffin Loch. He's doing some incredible things. He's got a couple of announcements to make, and then we're going to be going over his top 10 movies of all time. You're listening to SCVI Charter School's Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I'm Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
Experience luxury senior living at Oakmont of Valencia, Oakmont's brand new community in Santa Clarita. At Oakmont of Valencia, residents will enjoy 5-star amenities, including state-of-the-art movie theaters, spacious custom-built apartment homes, and sweeping views of the valley, all close to shopping, restaurants, and medical centers. Enjoy resort-style living, professional concierge services, a luxurious salon and day spa, and world-class dining. At Oakmont of Valencia, you'll embrace retirement in style. For details, visit oakmontofvalencia.com.
At iLead Agua Dulce, we believe the most important thing a child can learn in school is who they are. Life's real tests are never standardized, which is why we've developed an individual-based curriculum that values exploration, cooperation, and creativity. As our learners grow, so do we. Our tuition-free charter school is currently enrolling grades TK through 7th and adding 8th grade in 2020. Your young learner will be immersed in a unique environment where possibility and self-discovery are at the core of every experience. The Agua Dulce campus features beautiful indoor and outdoor spaces for hands-on inspiration, including a robotics lab, a garden bed, a greenhouse, and a technology-based exploratorium. iLead Agua Dulce is conveniently located on the east side of the Santa Clarita Valley, just off the 14 freeway. Check out our homeschool options too. To schedule a campus tour or learn more about our programs, visit iLeadAguaDulce.org. We're enrolling now. iLead Schools. Free to think, inspired to lead.
I'm Matt Denny, CPA, with Denny & Company, LLP, your hometown CPAs. Here are some tips to help you with anxiety you may have about your income tax returns for 2019. The deadlines for filing both state and federal returns have been extended to July 15. Both the state and the feds are also extending the time for making 2019 tax payments otherwise due, without interest or penalty, to July 15. These details keep changing, so contact us at 661-286-8860 or see our website at dennyllp.com.
When you're looking for a midnight snack, sometimes fast food just doesn't cut it. California Bakery and Cafe is open 24/7, so you'll be able to find fresh donuts, danishes, bagels, all-natural fruit juices, gourmet sandwiches, and much more at any hour. With elaborate cakes for any occasion, including weddings, baptisms, anniversaries, corporate events, or any special event. California Bakery and Cafe in Santa Clarita is open 24 hours to satisfy any craving anytime. Call us, 255-1254. That's 255-1254.
KHTS, AM 1220 and 98.1 FM Santa Clarita. It's 10 o'clock. Time for national news on KHTS.
A dire warning from a federal scientist. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Not just any scientist, one who was reassigned during the pandemic, leading to a whistleblower complaint against the Trump administration.
Without better planning, 2020 could be the darkest winter in modern history. First and foremost, we need to be truthful with the American people. Americans deserve the truth.
Dr. Rick Bright telling a House hearing that truth should be based on science, reiterating concerns about reopening too quickly and insisting that early warnings went unanswered. A White House spokeswoman denies that anyone was ignored or silenced and says the response has left the nation prepared for whatever lies ahead. President Trump continues to cheer reopening efforts, telling Fox Business,
I think that we have to get back to work. We have to get our country back.
Today, he visits a medical gear maker outside Allentown, Pennsylvania. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell accuses Democrats of using the corona crisis as leverage, and he criticizes the $3 trillion stimulus bill in the House, saying it includes things like a tax hike on small businesses.
Giveaways to blue state millionaires, government checks for illegal immigrants, and sending diversity detectives to inspect the pot industry.
Democrats say the bill is much needed help for Americans, frontline workers, and state and local governments, though House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has also acknowledged it amounts to a starting point for negotiations. Meantime, McConnell just announcing that Republican Senator Richard Burr is stepping aside as chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee because of an ongoing probe of stock sales early in the coronavirus outbreak. The FBI seizing Burr's cell phone yesterday. The North Carolina senator has denied any insider trading and requested a Senate ethics review. America is listening to Fox News.
Americans rely on affordable, reliable package delivery from the U.S. Postal Service. It's a lifeline for rural communities. It powers our cities. But Washington politicians want to impose a massive package rate hike on the Postal Service, a 400% increase. We can't afford that these days. Quadrupling the price to send a package? That means 4 times the cost for seniors to ship their medication, 4 times to deliver household necessities, and 4 times the cost for small businesses. Unneeded rate hikes that will harm Main Street and everyday Americans. America can't afford the package tax now. Call Congress now. 202-224-3121. Tell them to stop the package tax. The Postal Service is an economic lifeline for small businesses and rural customers all over the country. That's 202-224-3121 and tell them to stop the postal rate hike. Paid for by the Package Coalition.
Demonstrators aren't giving up the fight against one governor's stay-at-home order.
Protesters outside Michigan's state capitol in Lansing in the rain under a banner that reads "Freedom," calling Michigan Governor Democrat Gretchen Whitmer's continued shutdown order that's crippled jobs statewide unconstitutional. One protester telling the governor,
"You will not keep us trapped in our homes. We will come out. As you can see, we don't care what the weather is like. We don't care if you're going to shut down the roads. We're here, woman."
Governor Whitmer said that protests would lead to continued stay-at-home orders out of safety, though orders that are also being challenged in court. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Though the order remains in place, Whitmer has begun to ease some restrictions in the past few weeks. Other governors have also faced court challenges. Some cities in Wisconsin moving to keep restrictions in place after the state Supreme Court tossed out the governor's safer-at-home order, leading to crowds at some reopened bars hours later. Another monster lizard is plaguing parts of the southeastern U.S., and wildlife officials are asking for the public's help.
The Argentine tegu lizard, easily spotted by its black and white stripes and growing 4 feet in length, is now considered to be an established invasive species in parts of Georgia and Florida, eating up food sources for native wildlife and in some cases eating up native wildlife.
If you're able to safely and humanely dispatch of the animal, we encourage that and we want that information too.
John Jensen with Georgia's Department of Natural Resources says most often people kept these lizards as pets and set them free when they got too big and too expensive. In Broward County, Florida, Eben Brown, Fox News.
After an early sell-off, the Dow's been bouncing back into positive territory at times, back over 23K. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Thanks for listening to KHTS AM 1220, Canyon Country, California. K260CO 98.1 FM, Santa Clarita, California.
Your building sign is essential to getting customers to your location. Feathers can help you get your business noticed. Feathers, now in a new, larger space with plenty of parking. They walk you through each phase of your project with special attention to detail and quality. Feathers will provide you with a sign that you can be proud of. Your sign will draw customers in instead of having them drive by. Visit Feathers online at feathersigns.com or go to Feathers' brand new, bigger location at 26017 Huntington Drive off Rye Canyon or call 298-9442.
At SCVI, we don't just prepare your child for the real world. We empower them to imagine and build the world they want for themselves. Our tuition-free TK-12 charter school combines project-based learning with extracurriculars from robotics to theater to sports to give your child boundless opportunities to explore who they are. Located just off the 5 freeway in West Santa Clarita Valley, SCVI has the only international baccalaureate program in the area. For enrollment information, including open enrollment options, visit ileadsantaclarita.org.
Fruit arranged like flowers? What a delicious idea! Edible Arrangements specializes in creating a variety of fresh fruit arrangements overflowing with fresh, hand-designed fruit and filled with strawberries, pineapple, grapes, cantaloupe, honeydew, and seasonal favorites. Made to order in a size you select and ready to eat and enjoy. You can even add chocolate to any arrangement. Edible Arrangements is always fresh, always appropriate, and always appreciated. Order yours today, 253-0052 or ediblearrangements.com. Edible Arrangements is on Soledad near Bouquet Canyon.
Hi, son. Can you help me back up this truck into the Dutton Plumbing warehouse?
Hold it. Turn off the truck. What's going on?
Well, I was watching the news.
Uh-oh.
And I heard we should stock up on supplies. So I just bought a whole truckload of toilet paper for us.
Mom, we don't need this much toilet paper. This receipt says 100 cases. We'll never use that much.
I think we will when the Senior Ladies Club goes out for Taco Tuesdays and they can really tear it up.
Now I can't unsee that. How about if we just share all the toilet paper with our customers?
Maybe something like call now and get a roll of Dutton Plumbing toilet paper for just $73.
Maybe that would work better if we threw in a free drain clearing, Mom?
DuttonPlumbing.com. Get a roll of toilet paper for just $73 plus a free drain clearing. It flows or it's free with a money-back guarantee. Go to DuttonPlumbing.com.
Hey there, it's Tori with your hometown station weather. Mostly cloudy today with highs going up to the mid-70s, overnight lows in the 50s. For anything and everything Santa Clarita Valley related, including the latest on COVID-19 here in the Santa Clarita area, go to hometownstation.com.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
The following is sponsored programming and does not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is Matt Watson, your host. You're listening to Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. If you missed the first hour, you missed some really cool guests. We had Matthew Nelson from the Boys and Girls Club of Santa Clarita Valley. We also had Kristina de Bree sharing some great free and reduced price mental health services. We all need to take care of ourselves. But if you are just tuning in, boy, did you tune in at the right time. My next guest is Griffin Loch. He's an exciting young man who's doing some amazing things. He's also going to be having quite a bit of fun with us here this morning. Griffin has been delivering great films since 2008, although he's been making films for gosh, well over a decade. His goal is to provide both superior story and tremendous value for his audiences. Like I said, Griffin has over 10 years of filmmaking experience and is passionate about pushing the boundaries and exceeding expectations from each film to the next. He continues to push himself to do something new, to see if he can create something different than he did in his last film. In April 2017, Griffin began shooting his first feature, Calling the Shots. In January of 2018, the film was released when he was, get this, he was only 13 years old when that first film was released worldwide on Amazon and Vimeo. Then again, in March of 2018, he was accepted to his first film festival, the Independent Filmmakers Showcase in Los Angeles. 2018, Griffin shot his second feature film, The Adventure of Teepee Man and Flusher. He shot it on 4K Ultra HD, and it was released on Amazon, Google Play, and iTunes this time. He actually won Best Director and was nominated for Best Picture at the IFS Film Festival for that sophomore film. And last year, Griffin set to work on his third feature-length film and just released the trailer for A Spark in Nothing a couple of weeks ago. And that film is set to be released early this fall, assuming that things don't get upended. So many different things have gotten upended this year, but he's still on track to release for the fall. In 2019, Mr. Loch was honored to receive the award for educational empowerment at Roundtable's Global Youth Awards. Griffin was recognized for being an inspirational young person that delivers positive impacts in his films. And did I mention that Griffin just turned 16 about a month or so ago? That's right. He's an award-winning producer who's about to release his third film, and he's only 16. His talents and drive inspire people 3 and 4 times his age. Get to know Griffin because soon enough you're going to be telling people that, yeah, I was there at the beginning of his career. Although if you want to say I was there at the beginning of his career, you better have jumped on his bandwagon a couple of years ago. Griffin, welcome back. It's good to have you, buddy.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
We are so glad to have you. We're fired up. You've got a lot of really cool things going on, and then we're going to have a little bit of fun during that second, maybe the third break of the show. So we had you in about 10 days ago, and we talked about your newest film. As I mentioned, your first film, Calling the Shots, was released in 2018 when you were 13. Your second film, The Adventure of Teepee Man and Flusher, came out last year and received critical acclaim. Your newest film actually looks really, really exciting. I would encourage our listeners to check out your trailer. It's a phenomenal trailer, very visually stunning. We had you on back on May 4th because you just released that trailer. And now, watch this. You're not going to believe this. Griffin, what's up, dude? What's been going on since we talked to you last on May 4th?
Well, it's a whole lot.
Yep.
I've been every weekday. I'm trying to graduate in 2 years, so that's full of school. I mean, my school days from 8:30 to 6:30. Then I eat dinner, and then I start working on editing and finishing up VFX on the film till around 9:30, 10. I've found I'm more productive in the day, less in the evenings, and it's just, I'm really trying to get this film together and so I can start putting it out. And right now, it's just full steam ahead, me just working on VFX and putting all the little magical nuances that the movie entails. So just a lot of working on that and then getting my school done.
Nice. And you released that trailer about 2 weeks ago, and I understand that you won some sort of award for that trailer already?
Yes. So we submitted the trailer to a festival a while back, I would say a couple weeks ago. It was, I think it was about a week before the trailer was released.
Okay.
And we sent it to them, and it's basically the festival is what it is it screens these trailers to executives of Netflix, Paramount, Warner Brothers, basically all the big studios in Hollywood. Their executives come down and watch these trailers. And then if a trailer personally speaks to them, they reach out to the filmmakers and say, hey, we want to make you an offer for your script, for your film, we want to buy the film to release it, yada, yada, yada. So, anyway, we released it on, we sent it to the festival, and we just got news back yesterday that we actually are accepted as a semifinalist and that we will be screening for these studio executives, which is thrilling just to think that we could have an opportunity now possibly be open to us that we wouldn't have had at all unless for this festival. So that we're all very excited for that right now. And yes, that just happened.
That is amazing. Congratulations. So you got that very real possibility of playing with the big boys, not in the future, but on this current film?
Yes. And, it's been something that I've always felt from the very beginning of working on this film. I have varied feelings from film to film. Like with Calling the Shots, I had a feeling, well, this is going to be different. This is going to be unique. Teepee Man, I'm really happy with how we're sending out this message. I think it's going to be really empowering and powerful, and I think it's going to say a lot more about what needs to be said. And with The Spark of Nothing, the entire time I worked on this, I felt this feeling of that it's going to do something, and it's really going to go somewhere and be something that people watch people watch that aren't just in mine and the actors and crew's inner circle. That's really going to spread more than anything we've ever done before. And so this, is just with the trailer, is really an empowering, powerful feeling of, being to see that it's already starting to actually do something.
That is so exciting, and we're really fired up for you. And gosh, we haven't even gotten into your visit yet today, but we're already thinking we got to have you back on once more news continues to come out with this film. Maybe a little bit later on as it starts to get released. But last time we spent the entire, I believe, hour last time talking about your films. They are exciting, and I know you've gotten a lot of hits since then. But we want to shift a little bit and talk about some of the other interesting things that you've got going on. You kind of glossed over it just a minute ago, but you, sir, are graduating next month, aren't you?
Yes, I'm very, very excited. And Very happy that I had the opportunity. SCVI has really given me the opportunity to excel and curtail my education, but it still takes a lot of dedication and focus. It's a very long school day. There's opportunity in college classes, online classes, physical sites where I take my sciences. But most of all, taking 11 classes per semester. I just really keep in mind and keep in focus that I want to graduate in 2 years so then I can fully focus on my filmmaking.
Right. You said you're graduating early. You're graduating in 2 years. I mean, technically, by the clock, you're a sophomore, but you're a graduating sophomore, taking 11 classes a semester. That's and while you're filming and editing, right? That's got to be a little overwhelming.
Yes. Well, it kind of works out perfectly because I have a lot of classes to where it kind of pulls in a little bit of my filmmaking with my class. Like, through my school day, at the end of my day, I have film class, which is just working on my film. And so that's very helpful. But also, I'm getting this rich, fantastic education on the other hand. So, I mean, at being home, it's kind of less travel time, less moving from places to places, since I'm through the iLead Explorations program, so it is all just at home, homeschooling. And so it's, it really works out nicely. But yes, it is late nights. But like I said, I found I'm more productive in the day. But you got to kind of set that aside, especially with deadlines and trying to get stuff done. I just got to push it sometimes. But still, I mean, I'm really ending my day at 10:30 at latest.
Wow. So not too bad. You're able to get a decent night's sleep. Let me explain just a little bit. At iLead schools, at SCVI, we really work hard to make sure that we individualize instruction, that we provide an individualized education for our kids. Yeah. And I know that all schools do say that, and they do their best, but the dedication with which SCVI and iLead schools approaches that gives you what Griffin's talking about. See, there's obviously, when he's making a feature-length film, there's so many different domains that are California state standards. He's doing a tremendous amount of writing. He's doing a bunch of math. There's all these different things that come into what he's doing to develop his career that he can also get high school credit for. It is very time-intensive for our staff to sit with each individual learner and see what path they're on and how we can best direct them to not only get their education, but to continue to impact the world. Griffin, while he is remarkably unique, he's not the only kid that's getting this type of education while he's developing himself in his career and things like that. Now, Griffin, it is very impressive, and I know you're incredibly motivated, but I'm sure our listeners are also kind of wondering why. Because, me, I was the kind of kid that if I could have spent, 6-7 years in high school, I would have. And my older brother, Big T, boy, he almost did. But, folks might be wondering, why is it so important to you to finish up high school so early? I mean, you just turned 16. You're going to be graduating high school. What was your impetus behind that?
Well, it's just, I've always known that filmmaking is the one thing that I've been destined and just need to do with my life. And so I think with graduating early, I want to take college classes at film colleges, and so I can make the connections with the fantastic people that are going to those colleges. But also, I want to move to where I can really fully focus on my filmmaking and not have it secondary, or it's just I really want to be able to move into the area to where I'm 100% on the craft of perfecting my films. And that's really what's kept me motivated, is when I think about it all, is I'm just trying to move into that area of just being able to do it 100%.
Well, cool. Yeah, your career's already taken off. We want to make sure that the rest of you doesn't keep the landing gear on the ground. But, and I know you've been planning this, several years out, but in retrospect, you probably picked the worst year in the world to be graduating, Griffin. Do you regret the decision at all?
No, I don't. I think it's given me, I mean, with this, it's given me a lot to do during these times.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it's taken my headspace away from thinking more on the darkness of the whole situation and more so focusing it. So I'm thankful for that, but also, yes, no, I couldn't have picked a worse year to graduate. It's honestly horrible. It worked out horribly. But, no, I would say I do not regret trying to push for 2 years.
I love that. Don't look back. No regrets, brother. Just head down, keep moving. So you mentioned college and how important it is for you to get into film school. Do you have any specific plans? Where are you going? What you're going to be focusing on?
Well, so right now, I think I more so, instead of going 100% of taking a full college at a film school, I would want to donate my time and help with the class instead of more so going to the college, because film school colleges, the entire year is built up to maybe doing 1 or 2 short films. You know, possibly by your whole year you do 4 short films. And I see that as a step down from what I'm doing now. You know, going by the time I'll probably be working on my 4th feature-length film, you know, I don't necessarily know if I want to take the years to go back to just doing short films, but I do definitely want to make the connections with the people that are going to the film schools.
All right.
And so I think it would be more so possibly taking individual classes at the film schools or donating my time to help on some of the productions going on the film schools. But I think just more so I'm going to be just continuing on my path of making my films, but I do definitely want to meet the people that are going to those film schools and colleges.
I love that. You hacked your high school experience, you're going to hack college. See what they know, share what you know, and just keep moving forward with your career. That is so beautifully 21st century of you, Griffin.
Thank you.
So it is impressive, and again, congratulations. All right, so taking a sidestep really quickly, you are a big film guy. You make movies. You love movies. Next break, we're going to be talking about, you're going to be giving us your top 10 films of all time. But aside from movies, what other interests have we got?
Well, I'm a big music guy, and I think that goes hand in hand with movies. I love music. I mean, I have a whole vinyl record collection that I go through and listen to, and I can't help but almost every song I hear picture a scene to it. And, I mean, it really is just constant inspiration, and I love music and everything it's got.
Dude, you can't be real. This is amazing. So tell us, what's your go-to? You flip on the Rockola and you drop some vinyl on it. What are you throwing on there?
Well, I mean, my favorite decade of all time has to be the 1960s. Okay. And so, I mean, mostly, it really depends on the mood. You know, sometimes it's a quiet evening and the sun's setting outside and it's just the perfect temperature, and you throw on some Simon & Garfunkel and it's just right. But then, you know, sometimes you want to rock a little more. You want to dance around. It's a little hotter outside, or it's night, and you turn on the disco lights, which I have a little purple rotating disco light thing, and then you throw on some, you know, classic rock. You throw on some, even if you want to go crazy, okay, I'm stepping out a little. If you want to go crazy, throw on some AC/DC. Yeah. You know, it's. But no, I mean, it really depends on the mood. But I'm a big 70s, 1960s. Classic rock kind of guy.
Fantastic. You can tell this guy's a storyteller. You're doing great things. All right. Are y'all ready? Griffin has got his top 10 films of all time. Some of them are sure to resonate, and somebody's going to get slighted. Do you have your list? Let's do this. Let's get to it. Right after this commercial break, have your list. Have those movies that are on there. I know Big T is texting in already. He's got one of his favorite filmmakers in the rotation, and he's going to see if you've got it on your list, Griffin. We're going to get right to that as soon as we hit these commercials. You're listening to SCVI Charter Schools Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I'm Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
Lots of people can build websites, but there's one Santa Clarita company that specializes in designing websites for your business. Small Dog Creative. The Small Dog Creative team is made up of local designers who are hands-on. Their talented team of experts build premium websites and redefine branding. Small Dog Creative doesn't just build websites. They'll upgrade your business's online presence and turn your business into a powerful online brand. Small Dog Creative, Santa Clarita's most innovative web and design company. SmallDogCreative.com.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top quality musicals and plays. Located on Main Street in Old Town Newhall, CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go online to canyontheater.org.
You see so much when you look at your child. A creative spirit that surprises you every day. Curiosity that develops into exploring unique passions. A little leader growing every day to discover who they are, what they love, and how they can make their mark on the world. At SCVI, we see those same amazing things. Our tuition-free K-12 charter school gives your child boundless opportunities to think critically and imagine freely, with a customized learning program built around each individual student. As iLead's founding school, SCVI combines an immersive approach to traditional subject learning with extracurricular activities, including STEAM, robotics, theater, music, and sports. SCVI has the only international baccalaureate program in Santa Clarita, with a 10-year proven track record of graduates excelling at top universities. And we're in your backyard, just off the 5 freeway in West Santa Clarita Valley in Castaic. For enrollment information or to learn more about our program, including homeschool options, visit iLeadSantaClarita.org. iLead Schools, free to think, inspired to lead.
Comfort Keepers provides your loved one with loving in-home care.
Miles McNamara, certified senior advisor and owner of Comfort Keepers in-home care.
Our caregivers can help you in your own home, enhancing independence, creating safety and comfort. Our Comfort Keepers provide companionship, meal preparation, medication reminders, assistance with personal care, and even transportation to doctor's appointments. If someone you love can use a helping hand at home, visit ComfortKeepers.com.
Or call 287-4200.
Hi, this is Wendy Hassenflug, yoga and wellness entrepreneur. I'm excited to share one of the best kept secrets in Santa Clarita. Top Out Climbing Gym is one of my favorite places. Rock climbing is exceptional for building upper and lower body strength, and it improves your flexibility. Almost anyone can rock climb, and you don't have to be super fit to climb. You'll build strength and stamina while having fun at the same time. Get over to Top Out Climbing Gym in Center Point and challenge yourself to new heights.
Facey knows life gets busy. Let us go to work for you in the Santa Clarita Valley. We have 34 primary care physicians and 55 specialty doctors in 4 offices. And Facey has easy 24/7 online appointment scheduling for PCPs and PEDS with some extended hour appointments available. We are Facey Medical Group. Let us go to work for you today. For more information or to make an appointment, visit facey.com. That's FACEY.com.
I'm Matt Denny, CPA, with Denny & Company, LLP, your hometown CPAs. Here are some tips to help you with anxiety you may have about your income tax returns for 2019. The deadlines for filing both state and federal returns have been extended to July 15. Both the state and the feds are also extending the time for making 2019 tax payments otherwise due, without interest or penalty, to July 15. These details keep changing, so contact us at 661-286-8860 or see our website at dennyllp.com.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM, 1220 on the AM dial. You are listening to Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I'm your host, Matt Watson. We are also on Facebook Live. Head on over to Facebook and pull up KHTS Radio. There you're going to be able to participate in this next session of the show. People are already sending me different movie quotes and their favorite movies, their favorite filmmakers. We're here with Griffin Loch, 16-year-old award-winning filmmaker and film buff, and he's about to give us his top 10 films of all time. So have you got your list? Are you ready to compare lists? Because you're going to want to you're going to want to holler when he leaves your favorites off. You know, when your favorite movie of all time doesn't even make Griffin's top 10, you're going to want to scream about it. But then there's going to be places where he changes your mind, and certain movies that maybe you haven't even seen yet that'll be great for your weekend binging. So have your list at hand. Here we go. Griff, so are we starting with number 1 and going down, or are we starting at 10 and going to build up to the crescendo of your number 1?
So I was going to start at the lowest and then work my way up to the highest.
Perfect. That's the way a top 10 should work. So we're starting with number 10.
Yes. Well, so actually I feel the top list of films is really on just personally how the film touched you as a person. You know, so please don't kill me if I leave one off that's one of your favorites, but these are just personally, I think that's all personal taste.
So you're saying this isn't Santa Clarita's top 10, this is Griffin Loch's top 10.
Exactly. And it's not, I'm not trying to make, you know, an AFI top 100 movies that you need to watch list. I'm just making a top 10 list of my favorite movies that have just personally touched me and crafted some thought into my filmmaking.
And if people want to come at you, let them make their first 3 feature films, and then they can talk, right?
Exactly. I'm totally kidding. No.
Here we go.
So when you guys said make your top 10 list, it's almost impossible. You can't summon down 10 films into your top 10 of everything that you've ever watched. And so I made my top 11.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So starting at 11, right at the bottom, right there, it's The Royal Tenenbaums. Wes Anderson, one of his best. That movie is really just incredible. It's a tale of kind of a dysfunctional family and kind of goes and plays off each individual character. It's beautiful. If you're looking to watch a movie that's just visually stunning from beginning to end, The Royal Tenenbaums is the one to go with. I mean, all of Wes Anderson's movies are gorgeous. I mean, all the burnt orange and browns and yellows. It's such a unique stylistic look, but The Royal Tenenbaums really sets it apart. One of his earlier ones, but it's definitely one of my favorites, kind of how it goes between each of the family members and tells a different part of each of their stories. And so that it's got to be on the top 11 list.
Fantastic. And Big T's asking if you can spell that. No, he's not. I'm not going to threaten him with spelling that, but T, I'm putting him in the Facebook Live feed. So if you're on Facebook Live, check it out. I'm counting them down from 11 to number 1. All right, let's move into number 10.
Number 10 is Bonnie and Clyde, the 1967 one. It changed filmmaking. It's one of those films to where no one had ever gotten shot in a movie, and you've seen the person get shot in the same frame as the gun firing. It's always a guy shoots, and then you cut to the guy cover wherever he got shot and then fall to the ground. And that changed everything in that end sequence to where Bonnie and Clyde get taken down. I mean, it changed it, and it's an amazing love story. I mean, it's tragic. It's horribly sad, but it's a beautiful love story of just how they would go to endless possibilities for each other. And so I love that one. I think it's really, I actually pay homage to it in A Spark of Nothing at the end of the film.
Oh, nice. And as a historian, I got to tell you, it stays incredibly faithful to the true Bonnie and Clyde story.
Oh, yeah, my gosh, yeah. And which is kind of rare, you know, not all the time in historic films it's exactly so close to the actual history of it, but no, it really stays super close to the Bonnie and Clyde actual story. And so, yeah, I mean, you gotta love it. But and I just want to do a disclaimer. I know this is, you know, a family show, so these films are kind of you know, I wouldn't recommend watching them unless, you know, if you're a kid, unless you get your parents' blessing, because they do get pretty violent. So anyway,
all right.
Especially the end of Bonnie and Clyde. That's a pretty intense scene.
Well, but, they don't ride off into the sunset. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, let's just say that. Yeah. So, and then number 9, P.T. Anderson is one of my favorite directors of all times, and so many of his. I mean, Boogie Nights is one of my favorites that he's done, but the favorite that I have on here from Paul Thomas Anderson is There Will Be Blood from 2007. That is a tough tale of how far someone will go to get some money. I mean, it's an incredible, amazing film to watch. The acting by Daniel Day-Lewis is top notch. I mean, it's hard to get any better than that. But it's just such an impactful story. It's amazing, but definitely a very rough one. You don't walk out of the theater after watching that one going, "Oh wow, I really feel happy and filled with joy." No, you walk out and you're like, "Oh my gosh, that was geez, what the heck?" But it's amazing. It's incredible from beginning to end. It's masterfully done, masterfully directed, masterfully shot, masterfully acted. It's just a masterful film.
Okay, so not a popcorn chomper. I haven't seen it, so maybe I'll have to check that out this weekend.
Yes.
All right, number 9, There Will Be Blood. Heading to number 8 on Griffin's top 10 films of all time. Actually, top 11 films of all time. I don't know there's a lot of people doing top 11 lists out there, so you're really pushing the envelope on this one.
It gives you one extra space.
There you go.
Helpful in that regard. But so number 8, Goodfellas. I mean, that is stylistic film. I mean, you watch it, and it's just the tale of his life is amazing to watch. And I mean, kind of with all these films I've listed so far, I'm realizing that it's all very much character pieces. You know, it's going from character to character, person to person. I think I've always really enjoyed more so a story less on revenge or they have to take down the bad guy, or more so just these character pieces of what these people have to go through as people. And so Goodfellas, I mean, it's an incredible film. It really is. It's as I've said with all of them, it's a fantastic film. Right. I love it. Every time I watch it, I find something new, and I find something that I didn't notice, and I mean, that's really, I think, a telltale sign of a great piece of filmmaking. And so Goodfellas is there. Now moving on to number 7, The Shining.
Go for it, The Shining. All right.
Yes.
I'm not a horror film guy, and so I avoided this movie like the plague for years and years and years. My son made me sit down and watch it about 6 months ago, and I'm with you. It's an incredible film. Don't know that I want to watch it again, but...
Yeah, no, it's terribly haunting. It's one of those films that you watch, and then afterwards... You think about it for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it stays with you. And then every hotel you go to, you can't help but think seeing those two twins standing at the end of the hall, or, you know, whenever you see an elevator now open, you're waiting for that blood to come pouring out. So, I mean, iconically done, but terrifying.
Well, yeah, and the story of a family that is stuck inside together for an extended period of...
It's ironic nowadays. Yeah, so definitely, if you want to watch an ironic film on quarantine, definitely go watch The Shining. But I mean,
I'm getting a little nervous. I'm going to take my kid's big wheel away from him.
So, but no, yeah, The Shining. What I love about it is it's Kubrick always does this. Stanley Kubrick, the director of the film, what he always does is he layers all of his films so deeply. It's not just a shot. There's 10 things underneath the shot that have been planned out, and that's incredible. That's why I think he's definitely the best director of all time, Stanley Kubrick, is because he layers everything so intensely. You watch The Shining like as many times as I have, and you start noticing all these weird layers of things that you had no idea were even there. And then you start reading more about it, and you're like, oh, he was doing this there and that there. And it's crazy how, like, mind-bending The Shining got when you actually start, like, thinking and looking about all the things underneath the shot and underneath the story and just placed around the Overlook Hotel. I mean, it's incredible. I love that film so much, I actually got a bedspread that is the carpet design, the little checkered red and orange boxes, and so I have that as my bedspread, and the end scene to where it goes to the picture of Jack standing with all the ballroom people saying that he's been there forever. I have that on my wall.
Oh, wow. So, so many different layers. It is a great film. Griffin, if you're recommending that I go back and watch it again, it's not going to happen, dude. I did my time.
I don't know. I feel like I just give it a go. Give it a go.
All right, let's move on to number 6. I'm getting a little jumpy here.
Okay. Number 6, The Big Lebowski, 1998. You can't go wrong with that movie. The dialogue is perfection. The acting is incredible. It's it's a genius comedy. You watch it, and it might not be for everyone, but every time I watch it, I'm constantly cracking up from beginning to end. It's one of those feel-good films to where you watch it and you feel still, you're like laughing to the jokes after the credits roll. It's one of those movies where you just watch it, and it's fantastic. And so, I mean, The Big Lebowski, also one of those films that I watch and I find things different with every time. It's a beautiful film. I mean, Jeff Bridges makes that character so iconic. The dude, almost everyone knows the dude.
Right.
I mean, it's such an iconic film.
Absolutely. So we're about halfway through with Griffin's top 11 here, and the dude abides. So Here we go. Number 5.
Yes. Okay. So number 5 is, I think, one that personally more speaks to me and won't generally speak to a lot of people. But it's a 1963 film. It's from Federico Fellini, and it's called 8 1/2. And I think it personally talks to filmmakers more because it's all about this director trying to find inspiration for his next film and find the motivation that he needs. And it's all seen through his eyes and how he imagines different things cinematically. And it's a beautiful film in that regard because I can personally connect to it so much with the jokes that he says and how he sees things. I think it's definitely much more of a filmmaker kind of geeky film because you know exactly where he's coming from on it. And so that one's just got to be on there because I just recently watched it, and I connected to it almost too much. I mean, it's a beautiful black and white film, and I love it for that. And I mean, the composition in it is just so gorgeous because everything almost just looks like a painting because it plays off a lot of his dreams. So we go into his dreams of him trying to figure out what to do with this next film that he's supposed to be making. And it's all shot outside in these open fields and by the beaches with long shadows, and everything's just framed to perfection. And so that one just had to be my top 5, right at close to the top of the list because it really is fantastic.
Alrighty, that's another one I'm going to have to check out. 8 1/2. All right, number 4.
Number 4. Oh, shoot! I'm looking at my list, and it looks like I skipped the number 4.
Did you skip number 4? All right, go ahead and get sorted out. I'm gonna go through. Big T has been weighing in on this like crazy. I know producer Sarah's doing an amazing job as I'm listing on the Facebook live feed the different movies that Griffin's going through in his top 11. She's posting the links to the different movies. Thank you, Sarah. Now I know we've only got 4 left, but Big T's asking. He's hoping that Hitchcock is going to be on there, whether it's Vertigo or The Rear Window. Don't spoil it, Griffin. Don't spoil it. He also is wondering about Casablanca, An Affair to Remember. He's one for the classics. He also throws in there The Usual Suspects.
Oh, yeah.
And Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
So Zemeckis. He's the man.
Yep. So have you got a number 4, or did you actually do a top 10 list and start with 11?
I think I did a top 10 list and started with 11.
All right, fantastic.
Well, this is embarrassing. Great. To let everyone down.
Don't worry about it, Griffin. We're not live. We'll edit this out in post-production.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I tell you what, I'm just going to edit right here on Facebook Live. Griffin, we're going to put this one in parentheses because this is Matt's number 4 and not Griffin's, and we're just going to put this in here. Number 4 is, are you ready for it?
Yes.
Boom, Caddyshack.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Doesn't belong anywhere on anybody's top 10, but it's always great for an afternoon lunch on a Saturday afternoon. You've got Rodney Dangerfield and Chevy Chase. It's just so beautiful. The Baby Ruth there in the swimming pool. It's just so many great scenes to relive. Again, belongs on nobody's top 10, but we're gonna just shove it right in there as a placeholder for number 4. All right. So are we ready for the top 3?
Yes.
How are we doing on time, Shane? Do we need to take a break?
We're doing all right. We've got time for one more than a break.
All right. So cool. Let's get to number 3, and then we'll do 2 and 1 after the break. Cool. What's number 3, Griff?
Well, I've always been since the beginning. I've always been a huge fan of this silent film actor named Buster Keaton, and he's this very, very deadpan comedic actor that would do a lot of pratfalls, but he's so deadpan, but still he tells everything comedically that you need to know without any emotion. And it's incredible to watch because you're laughing to the jokes, and he has no emotion on his face at all. Everyone would call him Old Stone Face because there's just no emotion on his face. And so one of the films that I watched early on that have always stuck with me as one of definitely my favorite of his films is Go West. And basically it's about him, and he's moving out to the West, and it's kind of showing how he deals with the harsh times of the landscape, but also he pulls this really endearing friendship with this cow called Brown Eyes. And it's such a sweet film to watch because it's kind of like this buddy film, but it's just between this guy and a cow. And so it's hilarious, but also it's so sweet because how much he really does care for the cow and how much the cow cares for him. And so, I mean, it's one of those it's an old silent film, so I mean, if you're not one for that, I understand, but it's a really sweet, feel-good film.
Fantastic. So Go West is number 3. What we're going to do here is we're going to leave folks on a cliffhanger. All right. We're going to pause right there. We've got to take a commercial break. We want you to stay tuned. We're going to get to number 2 and number 1 right after this. And for more information on COVID-19 and how it's affecting our valley, go to hometownstation.com. But make sure you stick around for Griffin's best 2 films of all time. You are listening to SCVI Charter School's Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I'm Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
Tucked away in the east side of our valley is the most delicious steakhouse. Steaks cooked to perfection using premium beef only found in the finest restaurants. Bergey's is the place. Steaks, burgers, and so much more. Restaurants come and go in our valley. Bergey's is different. They've been around since 1990, serving steaks, fish, and entertaining the neighborhood locals. Fantastic food, fun, and friends. You'll find them at Bergey's on Sand Canyon, right at the 14 next to the mobile station. Bergey's, it's worth crossing our valley.
We all know sometimes people lose their way. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, the Way Out Recovery SCV may have the answers you've been waiting for. The Way Out is the premier intensive outpatient treatment center serving Santa Clarita. Asking for help is the first step. Call The Way Out today, 661-296-4444. That's 296-4444 for a private free assessment. The Way Out is an accredited, affordable outpatient program that accepts most insurance. Call us at 661-296-4444 or check us out online at thewayOutRecoveryscv.com. Quit battling with yourself. Ask The Way Out for help today.
Save water and save money. SCV Water wants to help you find your fit and take advantage of conservation rebate programs that will help you save. Water your landscape more efficiently. Replace your lawn with water-wise plants. Conduct free in-home water surveys. Cover your swimming pool and more. Find the programs that fit your needs and start saving today. Visit conserve.yourscvwater.com to learn more.
That's conserve.yourscvwater.com.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is Matt Watson, and you're listening to Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. Before the break, we ran down numbers 11 through 3 in Griffin's top 11 movies of all time. If you just joined us and you're joining us on Facebook Live, you need to disregard number 4 because that one I just shoved in there because, hey, it's my show, so back off. But with the exception of number 4, we're getting Griffin's top 11 films of all time. He left us on a cliffhanger. We're waiting for Griffin's top 2 films of all time. And if you just joined us, Griffin is not your average 16-year-old. His own feature film, A Spark in Nothing, is coming out this fall. It is his third. And Griffin, before we get into your top two, where can people find that trailer for A Spark in Nothing?
Oh, well, all you got to do is pull up the old YouTube and then just search in A Spark in Nothing trailer, and it should be right there at the top. And, yeah, go give it a view. I would greatly appreciate it. I mean, it helps us every time someone watches it. It gives us our video starts popping up higher and higher in the charts. And so, I mean, I would definitely very much appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. If it's not here on your hometown station, it's on YouTube. So head on over and check out the trailer to A Spark in Nothing. And what about your first two films, Calling the Shots and the award-winning The Adventure of TP Man and Flusher? Where can we see those?
Well, both of those are on Amazon Prime Video. So if you're a Prime member, you can watch them for free, easy peasy. But if you don't have Amazon Prime, you can still rent them. But they're both on the Amazon Prime.
Yeah, if you don't have Amazon Prime, what's wrong with you? Because, free is my favorite price. It fits right in my budget. First, okay, so are you ready to finish this up? You got two films left on your list. I know people are already thinking, Griffin, you left up all 5 of my top 5, and you've only got 2 left. And that's one of the great things about these kind of lists. You said everything is so personal, and so if you're taking some of these slights personally, good. You've got your personal list. Griffin's got his, and it's his show today. So let's give it to him. All right, Griff, we are on number 2. Are you ready?
Actually, if anyone wants to let me know their top 10 list or some of the movies that I might have left out, go to my website, griffinloch.com, and you can send me a quick message.
Fantastic. Yeah, definitely. Try to sway this young filmmaker's mind. Let him know where he got it wrong. But,
exactly. Yeah. Give it to me.
All right, lay it on me now. All right, number 2. You ready for it?
Yes. Okay. So number 2. This is a film that I saw a long time ago, but I just recently watched it, and once I watched it, I realized this is one of my favorite movies ever. It's possibly my favorite, but not. So, it's from 1972, and it's called The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean. It's Paul Newman, and it's incredible. The dialogue in it is amazing. And what's interesting about it is it's this 1972 Western, but there's some shots in it that are so above its time to where you watch it and you're like, this is almost like I'm watching a modern film, but it's shot in 1972. And so it's beautiful, but so quirky and weird, but it's incredible because it follows, well, as from the title, The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean. And it's just this guy that comes into this town and just decides to become the judge and take over the town. And he starts building up the town. It's in the Western times. And it just kind of follows the rise and fall of him and his town. And the dialogue is just so interesting and hilarious. Right when you're like cracking up, then it will take this turn, and it's just devastatingly sad. It's really one of those films to where it goes everywhere, but so perfectly, and everything makes sense weirdly when it shouldn't, but it just does. And so it's definitely, it's got to be, it would be my favorite film if I didn't have this last number 1.
All righty. So The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean. I'm going to have to put it in my rotation. I don't know how I've missed this one. I'm a huge Paul Newman guy, so I think I'm going to have to fix myself a big salad this weekend and check that one out. All right. Here we go.
Okay. So number 1 is this one isn't just for the film itself. This is the film that I watched when I was, I think I started it when I was around 5, but then I had to turn it off because a specific shot freaked me out. But then I started it again when I was like 6 or 7, and I watched it. And this was the first film that really showed me what the craft of filmmaking was and how to tell a story through filmmaking. So it's got to be 1975 Jaws.
Yeah, I knew you were going there.
Yeah, it's the film that I watched that showed me what filmmaking can be and what it is to make a beautifully crafted film from beginning to end, with all the story elements of how to build tension. And so, because I knew what filmmaking was. I knew what movies were, but as a kid, I didn't really know what the elements were to make a film, what the beginning, middle, and end of the story was. And so watching Jaws is really the first film that I remember seeing that really set it in place in my mind of this is how films are made. This is how, you know, you use the beginning to get to the middle and to the end, but you can build tension from that. And then I was just fascinated. It ruined swimming in pools for me forever. At night, if I ever go swimming in a pool, I feel like there's a shark somewhere around there, or oceans. I can't help think about it. It kind of ruined oceans for me. But, I mean, that was the first film that really set in place, this is how films can be made, and this is how films are made. And so that's why it has to be my top 100, top one, Jaws, 1975, because it's what started everything for me, I think.
And there it is. There it is. Where do you come out? Do you agree with Griffin? What did he leave out? Right. He's saying probably. Everybody's going to disagree with some things. Again, one more time real quick, Griffin, where can people disagree with you? Where should they send their best films to?
So you go on griffinloch.com, and if you're interested in watching any of the trailers or any of the films, you can go on there, and I have a whole page of all my films, all my early short films, which you don't necessarily need to watch. But you can definitely find the links to Calling the Shots and The Adventure of Keeping and Fletcher and the trailer for my new film, A Spark of Nothing. And but you can there's a message contact us page on there that you can send me a message directly, and I'll be happy to answer and see what you guys think. But also go ahead and follow me on Instagram or Twitter, and you can send me a message right there too.
Fantastic. So yeah, shoot Griffin a message and ask him, what the heck? What about Cinema Paradiso? All right, that is all the time that we have for today. Thank you all so much for joining us, and thank you to our guest, CEO of the Santa Clarita Valley Boys and Girls Club, Matt Nelson, our good friend and show's official licensed marriage and family therapist, Kristina de Bree, and 16-year-old filmmaker Griffin Loch. He's doing amazing things. He's about to conquer the world, and you were here early on in his career. Join us again tomorrow and every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Tomorrow we've got another filmmaker, Ramon Hamilton. He's a new media creator, and another edition of Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. You are listening to SCVI Charter School's Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I'm your host, Matt Watson, and this is your hometown station, KHTS.